I've been too long out here in this place. I just need a little rest, and I just, you know, I,
If I don't help heal people now, so getting to it very concisely and precisely. Let me say a few last words. I keep doing this, but I'm feeling terrible, and I've been getting all these death threats from these security types. There's some means or another. Maybe it's the sonic device, sonic transceiver. Basically just like pulsed, I don't know, pulsed death metal or something, sped up at a real high frequency. I don't know, just a little speculation. So it's a quantum mechanical thing. It's modern day black magic. And the cell phone towers provide the motive power. I think usually I've noticed an increase in the signal strength when I was around passing by cell phone towers along the interstate. I had some brilliant ideas, I still do. It's still somehow possible. Oh, I don't mean to be disrespectful. That's, I took to wake up to the reality. Life is fleeting, and I got to do something worthwhile, something that I want to do. I just want to say very, very quickly, the people who set me up for this and said, we know exactly what kind of person you are, and what you're going to do is you're going to cause all these women pain, and in my attempts to reach out, and I have done that. Of course, I have been thwarted when I've attempted to do that online. I've been thwarted, and their communications to me have been sometimes just blocked, or like a video they made about me was unavailable to me. Again, this is all just simple hacking, and they've been doing this for a long time, actually, ever since I really got on the internet back in 2011. So they were doing this stuff. And, it turns out, of course, view counts on YouTube are, there's a lot of people who have suppressed view counts, They do that with a lot of people. It's just, it's in the interest of social engineering. These people they don't have American values. They don't believe in an honest contest of ideas. They're anti-intellectual, essentially. And so anyway, but the people who did this, they said, they knew somebody just like me, supposedly. And, he ended up causing all these women pain, and they really wanted to hold out, hopefully, they would snare him, anyway, partner up with him is a better term. And so, they held out for years and then they went, some of them, one or two, wound up old maids and so on and so forth, that kind of thing, that kind of awful stuff. But I bet they didn't know. I really bet they didn't know that something like what they did to me, was done to this individual that I take my reputation from. Evidently, he must have been horribly abused as well. you know. So while I was under the influence of LSD and perhaps a smidgen of cocaine and God knows what else, yeah, they ran through all these different scenarios about all this stuff that, all these lifeboat scenarios and all this extreme, extremist type situations, involving men and women and what can go wrong and all this. And they said all that I was just destined for all that, and somehow I don't know, the little diagnostic they ran on me that they had the kids, you know, who I'd been in a little fight with, and I'd gotten the better of really in this brief little. They had this scenario where they said I was walking. So what would you do if you were walking with a girl, walking with a girl out in just on a path in the forest, and you came upon three men, and it was their intent to do harm to you and this girl, or do harm to the girl, and what would you do? And I was picturing myself simply as a little boy, walking with a little girl, in the woods, and that was kind of appealing. It was kind of interesting. I didn't have any it's kind of a segregation between the sexes. For some that I kind of I was given that impression, or it was somehow I don't know, all this sort of premature sexual repression thing that goes along. Perhaps I don't know. It's just it's common, I guess, throughout the world, but because they want to control they want to control who breeds with whom, and it's frequently there's all these purse strings attached, so to speak, and because it comes from breeding livestock, I suppose. So anyway, so I was picturing myself as just a little boy, I said, well, I would go and I'd at least get a stick or a rock or something I could use as a weapon. I might have to or I might I'd try that, and if that didn't seem to work, I'd run and get some help. Came to find out that this scenario was happening. It was me as a mature male, as a man, and I was with a woman, not a girl. Kill those men. I said, oh no, too late. You already answered. Then we went into this house. I know, I know where the house is. I suppose, we could go back, do some investigation, I believe the primary perpetrator was an uncle of the boys. I think they were cousins. Yes, I think they were cousins, not brothers. They were both the same age, so they're about, I don't know, 7 or 6.5 or something, between 6.5. Transgender bitch. Oh, what? Why are you watching this? This is what we're trying to avoid. This fucking faggot. He's got a tongue there too. What the fuck? Don't buy that shit. So I'd like to explain how the obstacles target individual basis from their families. As we'll see, friends, they can be quite challenging. So I'd like to explain all about the obstacles faced by targeted individuals.
Well, the good news, I suppose, is that I'm safely ensconced in 96. At least they got food here. So I'm waiting on this drifter, and all this time around, they want me to give him enough money, to where he makes it to 2037, where I guess he's just a real big deal. I don't see why. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try $50. Good, even. I mean, an odd helping hand. They really took some liberties, I think, with us further iteration clones. And when I get back, I'm filing a lawsuit. I mean, I really will. I'm just gonna save my money. I'm just gonna live real simply, and I'm just gonna kind of wait it out. You know. Yeah, I think they just expect us to just accept it and just die off. I really think so. Really think so. Yeah, and I can't work him too hard this time. That's another thing. I got so much stuff to do. You know, this is not fair. It's just not fair. All right. Yeah. Yes. No. But that's it. Not doing this anymore. It's not doing this anymore. I'm done. I'm done. Done. Let's see. For the mighty one has done great things for me. Holy is his name. That's something to contemplate this morning. Well, found out. I found out. Uh, you know, for this, I really should have a laser etched board,
in Flowey's script. Uh, in my cursive, men were deceivers ever, and then it's polished up by hand, and then there's a weird sort of multi-hued staining process applied. I think we can make a lot of money with those, but this is a better idea. But the thing I found out that they censored the YouTube video I made to promote this movie. And that can happen when you're a former Black Ops mind-controlled agent of the Order of the Shining Serpent, a covert paramilitary group with connections to the CIA and the Marine Corps, who's gone on to cost corrupt corporations many millions of dollars. It will be a singularly spectacular work, the kind of cult classic Lynch Herzog-style Deliverance remake we all can enjoy. They'll have a primarily female cast that contrasts love and caring between a diverse little clique of canoeing women having weird backstories, comic sensibilities, and striking and lovely looks, displaying solidness and vulnerability, philosophizing about civilization and nature, men, and so on. Drifting into the That's all very valid. Drifting into the fiercely acquisitive clutches of rotten, albeit sophisticated marginals taken refuge in the past, seeking a way to repair themselves from the genetic and psychological damage dealt from a fascist eugenics program of the wildly dark Fewture. Along the way, our heroines slide by mystical portents of what's to come, strange and improbable happenings designed to nerve the viewer that accord with the teachings of this 300 plus year old handwritten copy of a book censored by Masonry I found in a bricked away vault somewhere on the East Coast. It'll be full of creepy atmospheric shots inspired by French celluloid of the 1930s, nature noire films, using a never before cyclic elemental series of polarity shifting nano-rune geared filters with individual randomized timing keys allow for an unprecedented level of realism. Provisional patents still valid in 2025. Fred, this is not going to work, man. It's not going to work. It's revealed that they're caught in the flow of a much bigger dimensional reengineering campaign, and that sometimes villains can be victims too, and that the long-standing world is the wellspring of truth and beauty. It's what we need to get back to. After all the violence and double talk, so to speak. All right. So then he's holding up the sign. Psychedelic Hillbilly Vampires from the Future. So, I mean, this is what I guess you should support. I mean, fine, we could do that. We could do that, I guess. So, if you'd like to be part of this project, all right, I'll have to reach out to you and on the yeah, okay, right. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyway, if you'd like to be part of this project and you'd like to fund it as well, get on board and you can we could do pretty well with it. Thanks.